The Caribbean Marathon Bicycle Race is a distance of 112 miles. Andrew finished the race in 3 and 1/5 hours. Calculate his average speed. Now here they want us to determine his average speed, and we're going to use the distance, speed, time triangle to help us. And so here we're trying to figure out the average speed, and based on this triangle, if we're trying to find the speed, we need to take the distance and divide it by the time. Now, that means that the average speed is going to be distance divided by time, and that's the formula for average speed. And so we need to figure out the distance. The distance here is 112, so let's put that in. So that's 112 miles, and we need the time. The time is 3 and 1/5 hours, and so we have 3 and 1/5 hours right here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna convert this into a decimal. We know that, notice that 1 and 1/5 is actually 0.2, and so 3 and 1/5 is actually 3.2 hours, and so we have 112 miles divided by 3.2 hours. And when we divide these two numbers, what we get? We get 35. And so the average speed is going to be 35 miles per hour, and that's going to be the average speed. The next question states that Brandon finished the race at an average speed of 28 miles per hour. Calculate his time to complete the race. And so here we're going to use the distance, speed, time triangle again. Notice that we're trying to figure out the time. And so based on this triangle, if we're trying to find the time, we need to take the distance and divide it by the speed. And so the formula for time is going to be distance divided by speed. What is the distance? The distance is still 112 miles. And what is the speed? Well, the speed is 28 miles per hour, as we see right there. And so the time is going to be 112 miles divided by 28, which is going to give us 4. And so the time is definitely 4 hours. And that's his time. It says calculate his time to complete the race. That's the time he took to complete the race, 4 hours. The next question states that the starting time for this race is 7:45 a.m. David completed the race in 3 hours and 40 minutes. Calculate the time at which David completed the race. So what we're gonna do is we have hours and minutes. We know that his starting time is 7 hours. We know that his starting time is 7:45. So that's 7 hours and 45 minutes. And we know he took 3 hours and 40 minutes to complete the race. And so what time did he take? At what time did he complete the race? We have to add 3 hours and 40 minutes to 7:45. Now 5 plus 0 is 5, and 4 plus 4 is definitely going to be 8. 7 plus 3 is definitely 10. And so we have 1085. We're going to take 1085 and we're going to express it as 10 hours plus 60 minutes plus 25 minutes. And we could do that because we know that if we have 85, we can take away 60 from 85. And when we take away 60 from 85, when we take away 60 from 85, what do we have? Well, we have 25 left. All right, so when we take away 60 from 85, we have 25 left. And so we have 10 hours plus 60 minutes plus 25 minutes. And the reason why we take away 60 is because we know 1 hour is 60 minutes. And so 60 minutes is going to be equal to 1 hour. And so we have 10 hours plus 1 hour plus 25 minutes. So we have 10 hours plus 1 hour, which gives us 11 hours. And so we actually have is 11 hours and 25 minutes. And so that means that the time at which David completed the race was actually at 11:25 a.m. And that's the answer to this question, 11:25 a.m. Now, the next part of this question states the following. It says that the starting time for this race is 7:45 a.m. David completed the race in 3 hours and 40 minutes. Carlton, so this is part D, right? Carlton finished the race at 11:35 a.m. Calculate the time taken for Carlton to complete the race. And so we're focusing on Carlton for part D. So Carlton finished the race at 11:35 a.m. Calculate the time taken for Carlton to finish the race. So what we're gonna do is we have hours and minutes. And so we're gonna take 11:35, right? That's his finishing time. And we're going to subtract it with 7:45 because the starting time for this race is 7:45 a.m. And so we're going to subtract these. So we have 5 minus 5, which is 0. And then we have 3 minus 4, which we cannot subtract. And so we have to go over onto the hour side, and we're going to borrow a whole hour. And so we're going to take away 1 hour from 11, which leaves us with 10 hours. And when we borrow a whole hour and we bring it over to the minute side, that's going to be 60 minutes, because 1 hour is 60 minutes, and we borrowed a whole hour from the hour side and we brought it over to the minute side, and that is actually 60 minutes. So we have 60 plus 35 on the minute side, and on the hour side we have 10. And so that's what we're going to write. So on the hour side we have 10, and on the minute side we have 60 plus 35, which is 95. Now we have to subtract. So we have 1095 minus 745. 5 minus 5 is definitely 0. 9 minus 4 is definitely 5. And then we have 0 minus 7. Well, we have to borrow this. We have to borrow 1 from this 1, which gives us 0. But we put the 1 on top. So we have 10 minus 7. And 10 minus 7 is 3. And so that means that the time taken for Carlton to complete the race is actually 3 hours and 50 minutes. And that's the answer to this question, 3 hours and 50 minutes.